I just opened it up for the first time, literally opened this up. What I am a little bit upset with is I thought there was actually jerky in here. There's not. It's only a mini and a sticker with that disc. So there's not really jerky. Oh, he pulled one over on me.
What a mean trick to play on the fat kid.
I know. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Players Meeting, a Win Dummies production. I'm your host, Lucas Steele. Thanks for being here. We are rocking episode number 46. In this episode, we're going to discuss all the bombshells that happened last week in signings and departures. We'll look at some off-season tournaments, the Q Series schedule, and we're going to open up this. A Star Pig blind bag. We're going to open it up right now. I'm going to eat some. I'm going to tell you how it is. Is that worth $50? We'll talk about it. So don't miss a thing. Stay strapped in. If you have not, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Diskin Deals Coverage. Make sure you ring that bell for notifications so you never miss a single episode. And also make sure you comment on there because we would love to hear from you. But without further ado, let's bring in the real star of the show, the one-time world champ, Chris Smith, a.k.a. Smitty. Smitty, there you are, dude. What's up, man?
Living the life, man. Just hanging out. Got cold again, so I'm stuck inside today and, just chilling, ready to have some fun, talk some disc golf.
Yeah, well, let's talk just some local disc golf. How was your weekend? I know you played a food drive.
I did. I drove to Winfield, played a food drive, the one in Island Park, the one that started the entire food drive series. Had a good time hanging out there, seeing those people. And then I drove to Flights, and I was only 22 minutes late.
Yeah, you got hooked up. You got hooked up for sure.
I probably wouldn't have let me in. I didn't care either way. I was just going to play. So,
yeah, it was a very windy day. Was it the same type of wind in Winfield?
It didn't seem like it. That sucked out there at Cessna.
Yeah, and we had some first timers that had never played Champ Cessna, and that's their first taste of that course with that wind. That's going to leave some people not liking the course, I guarantee.
It wasn't meant to be easy.
No, it's not. It's already challenging. The wind made it almost unbearable. But hey, we still had 45 out there. It was a good time regardless. But Smitty, we had some bombshell news last week that happened, and we got to talk about it. So let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been happening around the world of disc golf? And let's start with it. The bombshell of bombshells, Ricky Wysocki and Dynamic Discs have parted ways. And
yes, so.
This one, I did not. We talked about it, but I truly didn't see it happening. I didn't want it to happen. Smitty, what are your thoughts on where he goes, and just what are your thoughts in general for the state of Dynamic Discs at this point?
I have no idea where he's going. I'm wondering if this response to the post here on Rick's Instagram page from OTB Disc might be a little bit of a hint. Excited for what's next.
Yep.
Are they picking him up? Is that the deal we're doing? I don't know, man. I mean, I wouldn't be excited to sponsor Ricky. He broke contract with Innova. He broke contract again with DD. I think there's probably some other things going on between him and DD other than just flying the coop.
Yeah.
I think maybe DD or House of Discs didn't want to give him his whatever he was promised. And you know what? I'd be pissed too if that was the case.
Yeah, I definitely do not blame him. But I I do wonder what's happening behind the scenes. It would be fun to be a fly on the wall and hear some of those conversations. But I'm thinking, Smitty, that DD goes bye bye. And I don't mean that they are not going to sell those discs anymore. I just think the name Dynamic Discs may go bye bye just because now there's some negative connotation with the brand. I'm thinking maybe, because of House of Discs, they merged their brand into, instead of having Trilogy anymore, they maybe have Lat 64 and Lat USA, where they combine West Side with that. I don't know. I see maybe something happening along those lines, but I think it's going to be really hard, a very uphill climb for Dynamic Discs at this point. Because not only did they lose Ricky, but they also lost Kona. But at the same time, this may have been quite the business decision for Dynamic, just cut their losses. Because we know when venture capitalists come in, Smitty, and they're just trimming the fat, right? So they're trying to do everything they can to get a return on their investment when they sell, because they're not going to have it long. That's what they do. They come in, they buy, they trim the fat, then they sell and try to make a profit. So there's been some casualties along the way. Ricky, Kona, a lot of the jobs within Dynamic, and I just don't see him coming back as Dynamic Discs. Those are my thoughts. I know you are a sponsored player with them, and so that may mean something very different for you in the future too.
I have no idea of where it's headed, what's going on. I'm so far removed from all of it. It does hurt me, and I imagine it kills Jeremy to see the things people are saying and doing. It's such a night and day difference compared to 10 or 12 years ago when things were really going well there at DD, and I didn't hear nearly as many bad things as I do now. I mean, I can't say a bad thing about them. I guess they're treating me as good as I've ever been treated. It's been the same sponsorship since the first time I ever signed with them. So I guess that's not great, but it's not bad either. I mean, I've said a million times, I know my worth, and I'm a washed up, has been, pretty decent local guy.
Yeah, but you also were, I mean, one of the very, very first people on the team. So I know for you, this has got to be really, really close to home, not just because it's literally close to home, but near and dear to you. So this whole thing has been quite the carousel, and I don't quite know what's going to happen. I will say, you said Jeremy Rusko doesn't typically make bad moves, and he got out at the perfect time. Did he not? So I know he's still involved a little bit, but it's more so now with the course and not Dynamic. Is that right?
I think he's just with Champs Landing. I don't know what his place is within DD. I know this, though, if he was still making the calls at DD, I think things would maybe be different.
I agree. I can completely agree with that. All right. Well, we mentioned Kona, so let me go ahead and pop her up here. So she also left, but right after she left, she went right to Daddy and said, Dad, I need a sponsor. I don't know if this is really how it worked, but it seems like this is probably what happened. And she signed with Innova. I think it helps that her father does work there, but she signed with Innova. Not only did she sign Smitty, but she went ahead and won a tournament this weekend.
That she did. And I don't know if she ran to her dad or what happened, but I mean, it seems like a fitting place for her, actually. It's that's where she was previously. She had some success there. She had zero success the entire time she was at DD, surrounded by, we've talked about them previously, lots of health issues and mental health things going on. And you know what? Good on her for winning her local event, the La Mirada Open, against 4 women, one of which was on her caliber.
Yeah, they have the same rating. But yeah, I mean, anytime you can win a tournament, as long as you're playing someone, I mean, you got to be proud of that. She shot above her rating.
I was looking at something online and somebody was bashing her, of course, because she's an easy mark. And she responded, and
Did she?
yeah, I think I would have probably not done that if I was her. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably try to avoid anything that has my name attached to it on social media that is
Yeah.
I'm not putting out, because she's probably not going to take it well when she tries to bully the bully and the bullies all come firing back. Would just be my guess.
She's usually not like that, so she's probably in her feels currently with that whole situation, and why wouldn't she be? She just needs to continue playing her game and just working on improving that putt, and I hope that she just really turns it around. You saw just last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, Big Germ, boom, had some devastating things happen in his life. Turned it around, got a win, new sponsor. I'm hoping we can see maybe something like that for Kona. That'd be really cool.
Don't hold your breath.
Hey, guy can dream. But hey, so we're talking about Dynamic and the demise of Dynamic, and then here they go and totally shock me, Smitty, and they sign a top 20 player, a very good young talent in Evan Smith. And I'm really excited to see what he does with Dynamic Disc. What did you think about this pickup?
Yeah, I was shocked as well that they picked him up. He had several great events last year, and we saw him on a little bit of a lead card coverage. I would guess that he didn't cost them a lot. And, well, there he is. He's on the team. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So where was he last year? He was with Clash. Is that right?
Clash, and throwing a lot of Innova stuff, I believe.
I guess for me, I'm surprised that he didn't get more offers. I mean, he is kind of unassuming. He does kind of fly under the radar, but he's a rock solid player and extremely young.
Yeah, he'd be a good pickup for anybody, I think. And yeah, hopefully it pans out for him and he can get up there and make some noise. What'd you think about their little message along with their picture?
All right, let's read it for everyone.
The second paragraph is the banger.
All right. At Dynamic Discs, we seek the right team players to strengthen our brand presence on tour. Evan's personable demeanor and consistent performance on the course make him a perfect fit to represent Dynamic Discs. We are thrilled to support Evan in 2025. I did read that, Smitty, and I will say that had to be a shot at Ricky, maybe even Kona. Maybe both of them. I mean, the timing was too perfect.
That's kind of how I read it, as a shot at one of them for not being personable. And maybe it's not. Maybe there's nothing to it. Maybe it's just their way of saying hello.
The right team players as well. Team player, that's another one too, right? So I don't know. I think it's 1,000% a shot. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is that a shot? It's got to be. We're not reading into this. And I wonder if their social media guy is now fired.
No, he's not.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you would know. All right. So, and then West Side. They are making news, and this was very, very quiet. I didn't see anyone really talking about this, but Heide Line. Am I saying that right?
Good as I'm going to do.
Okay. She signed with Team Westside. And so I think for you, Smitty, we mentioned that she left Clash. Was it Clash? Yeah, she left Clash. We weren't going to get those great commercials. So maybe she does something super with Westside. She's got kings and princes to do things with.
Yeah, hopefully we could use some fun commercials at this time.
But I think it's a huge pick for Westside. They don't really have anyone, right? I think Sayananda was there. I don't know if she still is. I haven't heard
Yeah.
of her name in quite some time.
Yeah, I'd have neither.
I know Hannah Wynn was there, but I know
She's Discraft.
she's Discraft now with Clemens. So I think she's going to be now the face of Westside, and I think that's pretty cool because I think she's a good player, and obviously we've seen her personality. I think it's a great pickup.
Yeah, well, I mean, they still have Matty O as their face of their brand.
Of course,
And
but I mean on the female side.
yeah, and she's a pretty solid lady. We've seen her up towards the top a few times. I don't know that we've ever seen her win, but we've seen her up there. So yeah, maybe she'll get up there and mix it up and bring some positive back to the House of Disc side of the disc market.
I'm not a big West Side guy, so I don't know their discs. Have you thrown some? I mean, as a dynamic disc guy, you're allowed to throw within the family, right?
Yeah, I could throw any of them I wanted. I've thrown the King before, and then that got replaced by something that was a little more predictable. I've thrown the World. I used to love the World. The Harp is a West Side disc.
Okay.
So
that's probably one of the most popular then.
Yeah, I bet it is their most popular, probably.
Yeah. All right.
The Bear. A lot of people like the Bear.
Oh, so. That is. I have thrown the Bear. I do like that disc. So that's a good one. And then within the family, the Trilogy family, we can't forget Rebecca Cox, who has now signed a 1-year deal. She's going to continue on for the 2025 season with Latitude 64. I am a huge Rebecca Cox fan. I don't think she's upper echelon. I think she's right on the cusp. And I'm just hoping and praying that she continues to work at it. She's been in the mix several times. I would say it's course dependent.
It's round dependent, really. She can come out and fire off a good one and find herself at the top and then follow it up with a stinker and fall to third card. She did have 1,000 rated round over the weekend. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did. Yeah, so I know we're going to talk about some tournament stuff here in a bit. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, she had a killer round. But we got a few more signings to talk about, and then we're going to talk about some of these off-season tournaments that we had. So 2 gentlemen here who Robert Burridge signs with Great Lakes Disc. So this is under the radar company, not one that screams big signing, but that's a big signing for them for sure. Yeah. And I still think or thought that Robert Burridge was going to go DD, and it still hasn't been announced. That's all he threw over in New Zealand, and I'm a little shocked, Smitty.
Yeah, I thought we might hear something or see something about him going that way as well. I guess the Great Lakes connection is University of Michigan.
Oh, he is. That's all he wears. Okay, I see that. Yeah,
because he isn't Robert. He's from Texas.
But he reps Michigan gear everywhere.
Yeah.
I think that's his jersey. It's his hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the connection there. And I think they're just, if I'm not mistaken, Kyle Klein was sponsored by them previously as well.
Okay.
That could be wrong. To the Great Lakes, I found their current team, last year's team. So Kyle and Cynthia, of course.
Is Kyle Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe that's just who it was.
The Mar Weasel.
That's who. But he's not Michigan. He might be Wisconsin, but he's in that area.
Jared Stoll, Luke Taylor, and Trevor Harbaugh are names that you've probably
Luke Taylor
heard at some point.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for looking that up, Smitty. I really appreciate you.
There we go.
And Smitty, big signing for Meridian Discs. This is the same company that GT Hancock has as a sponsor. And now they've signed Emerson Keith. So big for their brand. But Emerson's coming off a pretty rough season for him. And I'm sure you're not too upset about his lackluster performance last year.
Zero craps given about where he is and what he's got going on. So, but yeah, Emerson's changed teams last 4 years. This is his fourth sponsor, I think.
Yeah.
Latitude, Lone Star, Innova,
and now Meridian.
Meridian.
And is that his solo sponsor? Does he not have?
I have no idea. He's not.
I,
we don't share pleasantries very often.
All right. Well, next time you talk to him, let me know. So, big news in Brixton. They finally announced their final co-owner. So we had Yuli, we had Macbeth, we had Dylan Cease, and now we were both thinking maybe Brody, but I'm pretty sure the bridge that was between Macbeth and Brody is so burnt that they will never do anything together again.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, so instead, we're going to have Adam Hammis as the fourth co-owner of the company.
Once again, I just don't get the draw to disc golf cards. I don't know that we're big enough yet. I know there's lots of people, though, that love them. And, these guys' financial advisor is obviously telling them that must be a decent move to do it. So, I hope it works out for them. I hope they make lots of money. They're not going to make any money from this old man right here.
All right. Well, we both know someone that now has a card case of cards. I tried to let him show you, and you immediately turned it down. So I will say his book of cards is rather impressive. But again, I'm not there anymore. But it is pretty cool, and it seems like there are quite a few people that are really getting down on this. Kudos to the Brixton family. Let's get into some tournaments, Smitty.
Yeah, man.
So the Open at Tallahassee. We can see the final scores here, but did you get to watch the final round?
Halfway.
Okay. I cheated because I knew we were going to talk about it, so I watched the final 9. And
plan on watching it tonight.
Yeah, so do you want me to tell you how it played out?
Sure, I don't care.
All right, so starting the round, Bradley Williams had a 4-stroke lead. And then hole 12, there was a 3-way tie between Buckets, Grady Shue, Bradley Williams. And honestly, Smitty, this was a pretty fun tournament the way it shook out. There was a lot of big shots, a lot of bad shots towards the end. Bradley, as you can see, he had the 4-stroke lead. He was just short on his putter all day. It really came down to the final hole. Grady Shue, Joey Buckets tied going to the final hole. And 18 is that big one, long one that's raised up on those blocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So both really great drives. And then Grady Shue, boom, on his approach, hits the wood. He's right there. And then Buckets is up because he had the better drive. And then Buckets throws it a little right, and he's outside circle, but right on circle's edge. And so he has to make it. He steps up, airball. But he does make his comebacker, and then there's a 3-hole playoff to get second. If he didn't make it, the comebacker, it would have been a 3-hole playoff for second.
They played off for second?
Because there was a USDGC spot on the line.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, qualifier. So Grady got it, didn't even know. It was a good one, man. There was some other swings back and forth, but the last hole was good. Grady made his putt, and he was shot 11 down. I don't know what that rated, but that had to be pretty dang good. Although, look at that. There was 4 10-unders on the day. Albert Tam and Aiden Scott had a 10 down as well. Kudos to Ace Run Pro, who they don't typically do this, Smitty. They had next day delivery on coverage, and I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah, and it was nice coverage as well. The quality was great. I don't think their graphics package is as awesome as some of the other places, but the video was awesome. It was good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking. Grady was a 1062 on his last round. So and he really played fantastic the entire tournament. I watched. He was on. They had 2 lead cards the first day, 2 feature cards, which is pretty cool. And then he was on lead card, and This guy was throwing in a lot of nice putts, man. He was looking really good, and he throws pretty dang far and pretty dang
Yeah.
good. So,
So
but
I
boy,
will say,
is he not looking like Vinny or what?
dude, he's letting his hair go, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's like, well, while in Florida, why not?
yeah.
But I will say he had such an amazing putt on hole 17. He had a bad shot, got very, very fortunate, and was like 50 feet and hit the top of the cage and bounced in to tie it up to go into 18. So it was pretty sweet. I can't wait till you watch it. I
Yeah.
highly recommend everyone watch it. Sorry for spoiling it for everyone, but it was a really good tournament, and you got
That
to see
course
it.
is really nice too, and they bragged about it being a top 10 course in the world. They had the mayor come out and do the send off for at least for the lead card the last round. So that was pretty fun.
It's definitely a pretty unique course. I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about the women's side. So, as you mentioned earlier, Rebecca Cox shredded the first round, and I mean shredded. It was over 1,000 rated, maybe 1020-ish, 1030 maybe even.
First round was terrible, 933.
So, as I said, her second round, she absolutely shredded. Is it the second round?
Second round, 1,007.
Okay. 1,007. Okay. I'm way off. But after all was said and done, Jordan Lenz, there she is. 20 down. She gets the win. And a pretty amazing final round, Smitty. 11 under on that final round. What did that rate?
1,009.
Great shooting.
The weather just got better for these people the entire weekend. The first day was pretty tough. Second day was, a little breezy, but the third day, final day, looked just great on the front nine of the men's that I've watched.
Yeah. And I mean, Jordan shredded, dude. She three strokes over Rebecca, and Rebecca was 6 strokes over Lisa Fakis, who is just getting used to her new sponsor.
She went back to Millennium. Well, she went to Millennium. She's probably thrown some Millennium before.
Yeah, and she can still throw some Innova with that. So she's at least probably got her putter back, which is her bread and butter as far as her game. But yeah, you have Nina Guerrero, who is an up-and-comer, and Alexis Kerman, who is a Missouri gal. She went to the University of Missouri, and she got her tour card this year. So congratulations to her.
Yeah, some names that didn't make the top 5 cut here are Sarah Hokum. Jordan's sister Morgan was in the field. And Leah Senegini. Remember, she made big news in Lone Star.
Yeah, leaving Lone Star. Yeah.
So actually, Jordan was the only person in the ladies division to go bogey free.
Oh, great job.
That last round. So that's key. That's key on these longer courses for the ladies. That's key on any course for the ladies, is avoiding the dumb mistakes and not getting bogeys.
Yeah. Yeah. So congratulations to Jordan. I know she's going to be talking trash to her sister. I know they battle it out and talk a lot of trash to each other, which I think that's fun. That's how it should be between siblings.
Yes, sir.
Well, Smitty, let's talk about this new schedule that was released, the 2025 DGPT Q Series schedule. We got quite a few events, 14 American events, and then 7 European. What kind of sticks out to you here?
Well, I think it's pretty cool that we have a couple of events fairly close to us here in Kansas. We have the Glass Blown Open stepping down from the DGPT Plus to a Silver Series, which seems like kind of a good fit for it at this time. I know there's a lot of the top dogs that were tired of coming here to Kansas to play that. So, it's still going to get some recognition. There's still going to be coverage of it. There's still a reason for big boys to show. So, that'll be fun to have something like that this close to home. And it'll also open it up to people like me who can play age protected at it now. So that'll be good. And then, the Star City Shootout making the Disc Golf Pro Tour Q Series level. That place has a special spot in my heart. That's where I got my first ever PDJ win, not just pro, but ever. was there. So
It just happened to be in Bro, right?
yes, sir.
You're like,
Beat,
I don't.
beat LaRon Harris, who was a legend at the time and had won that tournament so many times. And Eric was in the field. Chad Garrison was a great player from Kansas at that time. So it was a pretty cool win.
Yeah, that's super sweet. And we will be covering that. Well, we will be covering the women's side of that tournament. So Disc and Deals coverage will be there. So I'm pretty excited for that particular tournament. And Smitty, just to let you know, the name has changed, okay? It's not the shootout anymore, it's the classic.
Well, that's too bad.
All right. But yeah, I wonder if DGPT is covering any of these events, or it's just going to be, your ace run, your gatekeeper, your disc and deals type coverage on all these events.
Yeah, I would guess that's what you're going to get. I don't think there's going to. Are you talking live coverage?
Yeah, or just
Joe
produced. Yeah, Joe Mez.
Yeah, I don't think they covered any of them last year. Although I feel like there was some live footage of a few of them.
Yeah, something maybe in some of those off weeks, but I'm excited because as we've talked about the Q series in the past, it is one that if the right people get in and you're not having just all these tour card holders jump into the tournament, this can be a real good spot for people to get tour cards and for us to really see some up and coming talent.
I got to say, the other side of the coin, though, I would not hate to see some of the tour card holders show up to watch the best of the best play. I mean, this Tallahassee tournament we just talked about, it's an A tier, just like all of these. It's been fun to watch, but it would be more fun to watch maybe if the Robinson brothers and Vinny and some of those dudes were there banging chains as well.
No question about it. But at the same time, I think this particular thing is designed for, it's just like Alex Rodriguez in his prime going down to AA. I just feel like it's that kind of style a little bit. So obviously, I would love to see Alex Rodriguez hit off a pitcher in the AA, but we have to remember it's for these up and coming stars that are trying to make it.
That's right. That was the idea behind it. Until they put in something to keep those guys from coming and poaching a little bit of an easier paycheck, they're probably going to do it. Yeah. And I don't blame them on that either. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And I'm glad we're going to get to see a couple of them.
Smitty, it is time for the thing that you could care less about. It's this. We got this pure. Here, let me show it in the slide here. Don't you dare yawn. Don't act like that was timed perfectly. So I will say that there are 4 different discs that can be in here. Prize Pig, Notorious PIG, a Hambulance, and a Pork Chop. And you can see that if you get the Pork Chop, there's only 100 made. 350 made of the Hambulance. 550 of the Notorious PIG. So this is not mine. I would not buy this. You know how much this thing costs? $50. $50. But if you're a collector, you might enjoy this. This is Duck's. Duck gave it to me to open on air. So if you want the disc, you're going to have to talk to Duck. He will definitely charge you more than the $50. Now,
have you seen the disc yet?
No, it's not even opened.
Oh, the disc is in there? I thought that was just the jerky.
No, so there's a disc, a mini, and jerky in here. I'm going to eat a little piece of jerky. He didn't tell me I couldn't, but he also didn't tell me I could. But we're going to do it. So we're going to open this up. Here we go.
I'm feeling Notorious PIG, baby.
Okay, so it's probably the Prize Pig because that's the 1,000 one. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, it's not.
Did you get the Pork Chop?
Here we go. What's this one?
You got the Pork Chop.
That is the Pork Chop?
Yep.
Sweetie, there is only how many made?
100.
Oh my God, Duck, you just got richer, my friend. I'm sure Duck might just collect this, but this is the pork shop, everyone. And I just opened it up for the first time, literally opened this up. What I am a little bit upset with is I thought there was actually jerky in here. There's not. It's only a mini and a sticker with that disc. So there's not really jerky. Oh, he pulled one over on me. But oh my God, Smitty, he got it.
What a mean trick to play on the fat kid.
I know. And a little pig mini.
Does it smell like bacon?
You don't want to ask me that. I don't know if you remember when I did the thing with Greg. It was apparently it did smell like something and I didn't know. And then a little pig. So pretty fun. Well, congratulations, Duck. You can sell this for $1,000 or however much you're gonna get for it. But yeah,
any Ricky Wysocki Easter eggs in there?
I didn't see it. Let's look though. It does say something here. 4-1. So on the punching bags in the back, it says 4 and 1. Is Rick 41? Is that his favorite number? I'm trying. I'm stretching.
Yeah.
What is a 4-1? Oh, and then it says 4103. What does that mean? 4103 because the other side says 0. Okay.
That's probably the flight numbers, you idiot.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. You know your discs, man. Oh boy. Yeah. Sorry, I got the giggles now. So, all right, Smitty, shout outs for the week.
Just all the people that continue to support the KDJ Food Drive. We had 3 of them last weekend. I know there's multiple coming up this weekend. It's awesome. I think we're right at like $11,000 raised, which is a little bit behind the target mark for this part of the year, but we've had some really crappy weather this year.
Yeah, it's been horrible. Just
horrible. We still have some big events coming up too, so there's hope.
Yeah, and I know I'm gonna make a trip out to the Abilene Food Drive when that happens. So
that's a really cool park. You'll like it.
Yeah, I think I've actually played it once, but I don't know if they do something different in that tournament or not. But hey, thanks, Duck. Thanks for making me look like an idiot. And hey, be on the lookout for a 10-year-old's in the bag that is pretty awesome. It'll come out this Friday, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. This kid talks discs so well. It's one of my favorite things in the world to hear him talk disc golf. He's just a little miniature adult when he talks disc, and it's so fun.
And all right, next week's the big show with all of our special guests, right? Making their picks.
Yeah, so we have, I think, 8 different people that are going to come on and make their picks for who's going to have a good year or better than last year and who's going to have a worse year. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have a whole slew of people.
We can still take a few more if anybody wants to jump on and get a little screen time, have a little fun with us.
Yeah, I think we can only have 10 at a time, but we'll kick some people out and we'll just kind of have a rotating...
Revolving door.
Revolving door, exactly. I'm really excited for that one. But we'll see you next Tuesday for that episode. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Later.